Hello, rockers. Here we are again with a new video. Here we have the book Three Bags Full, which was a success this year in the book club. So, congrats for those who have participated. Yes, we're gonna do it again for new people. Now, then we saw the movie Sheep Detectives. All right. Well, this video has to do with the journey of the heroine. Yes, you must have heard about it because we usually talk, we compare different stories, and we analyze through that perspective. Okay? The famous who done it. Yes, who has committed the crime? Who has done it? They need to solve a mystery. So, let's start. So it says Three Bags Full, the ship detectives through the heroine's journey. A literary and film analysis using Maureen Murdock's heroine's journey. So who is the heroine in this story? Although the story follows an entire flock of sheep, the heroine's journey is best understood through Miss Maple, called Lily in the 2026 film adaptation, the flock's wisest and most thoughtful sheep. She is the emotional and intellectual center of both the novel and the film, guiding the others through grief, uncertainty, and discovery. The book and film share the same core premise but differ in several plot details and especially in the ending. You know that. Okay, separation from the feminine. The journey begins with loss. Hay una pérdida. The sheep discover that their beloved shepherd George has been murdered or dies under mysterious circumstances depending on the adaptation. George has always provided safety, routine, knowledge, affection. Every evening, he read stories to the sheep, unknowingly teaching them how detectives think. All right? His death destroys the peaceful world they once knew. Theme: innocence is replaced by uncertainty. Like many heroines, Miss Maple is forced to leave emotional security behind. I love this picture. Now, identification with the masculine world. To solve the mystery, Miss Maple or Lily adopts traditionally masculine detective qualities: logic, deduction, observation, evidence, strategy. The flock attempts to imitate the detectives from George's mystery novels. They believe every mystery has clues, suspects, motives, solutions. However, they soon discover that real life is much messier than fiction. There they are. Oh, I love that. This is part of the movie. Good. The road of trials. Miss Maple and the flock face many obstacles. They must investigate human behavior, spy on villagers, interpret conversations they only partly understand, avoid dangerous humans and dogs, overcome fear, protect one another. The greatest challenge is not physical, it's trying to understand the world designed for humans. Each mistake teaches them something new. The illusion of success. At first, the sheep believe solving the murder will restore everything. They assume if we find the killer, life will return to normal. But they gradually realize that some losses cannot be undone. George will never return. Justice cannot erase grief. And this realization marks an important emotional turning point. Voila! Hello, darlings. Well, this is the emotional heart of the story. Miss Maple or Lily begins to understand. Adults, humans are flawed, tenemos fallas. Good people can make mistakes. Death is permanent. Truth is only painful. Sorry, often painful. In the novel, the ending is especially tragic and morally complex. In the film, the mystery is reshaped into a more hopeful, family-friendly conclusion, but the emotional themes of grief and loss remain central. The sheep lose their certainty about the world, yearning to reconnect with the feminine. Miss Maple Lily realizes that intelligence alone is not enough. She must also rely on compassion, trust, friendship, patience, and hope, for sure. Rather than becoming a cold detective, Miss Maple remains deeply caring. She continually asks, how can we protect the flock? Instead of, how can I prove I'm clever? This is what distinguishes her from many traditional detectives. There you are, some vocabulary that you need to know. Healing the mother-daughter relationship. Although there is no literal mother-daughter storyline, this stage appears symbolically, okay? The flock functions as a family. Miss Maple gradually becomes a nurturing leader. She learns that leadership is not about controlling others, it's about caring for them. She accepts responsibility for the flock's emotional well being. Healing the wounded masculine. The story challenges traditional ideas about power. Humans often appear greedy, secretive, violent, and confused. By contrast, the sheep solve problems through cooperation, listening, community, shared wisdom. The investigation suggests that empathy can be more powerful than domination. Rather than defeating others through force, Miss Maple succeeds through understanding. There you are. Who done it? So, integration of masculine and feminine. All right. By the end of the story, Miss Maple balances two complementary sets of qualities. So let's read one on one. Masculine quality, logic. Feminine, compassion. Masculine analysis. Feminine, empathy. Masculine quality, curiosity. Feminine quality, loyalty. Leadership, cooperation. Courage, patience. Problem solving, care for the community. She becomes both a detective and a protector. Now, the new self. Miss Maple finishes the journey transformed. She becomes Flock's trusted leader, a wise detective, a guardian of memory, a symbol of hope. She realizes that solving mysteries is not simply about discovering facts, it's about helping a community heal after loss. Beautiful. Okay, so there you are. Those are the major themes: grief, community, curiosity, empathy, truth, memory. Film focus. Memory becomes especially prominent in the film adaptation. Okay, as regards grief, learning to live after losing someone we love, community, no one solves life's biggest problems alone. Curiosity, knowledge begins with asking questions. Empathy, understanding others is as important as finding evidence. Truth, sometimes the truth is painful, but it is still worth discovering. Memory, remembering those we love keeps them alive in our hearts. Good, good, good. Then the symbols: sheep, George, mystery novels, meadow, the investigation, the flock, Miss Maple, Lily in the film, okay? So the sheep, the meaning is innocence, community, and different ways of seeing the world. George, wisdom, guidance, and unconditional care. Mystery novels, education and critical thinking. Meadow, safety and belonging. The investigation, growing up and facing reality. The flock, family and mutual support. Miss Maple, quiet leadership through wisdom. So there you've got a contrast, okay? How the adaptation changes the story while preserving its heart. So here we've got more philosophical and satirical. We're talking about the book. Darker, morally ambiguous ending focuses on the complexity of human nature. The ship misunderstands much of human society, while the book it's more emotional and family friendly. Sorry, the film, yes, the movie. Hopeful ending with a different solution to a mystery. Emphasizes grief, courage, and teamwork. The ship are more emotionally expressive and accessible for younger audiences. Adaptation insight. The screenplay intentionally changes the novel's ending while preserving its central themes of love, loss, and the ship's emotional growth. So, why Three Bags Full fits the heroine's journey? Exploring Miss Maple's divine quest from intellectual deduction to moral leadership. Well, Miss Maple is not just a clever sheep, she is the emotional anchor of the flock's collective evolution. Unlike a classic detective story, the real transformation in Three Bags Full is internal, not merely intellectual. Miss Maple does not simply solve a murder. She undergoes an archetype, defining inner awakening, el despertar. Beautiful. So we've got wisdom over certainty. She learns that true wisdom is far more valuable than rigid, dogmatic certainty, healing, and memory. She realizes that communities heal through love, shared memory, and connection. Compassion over fear. She discovers that active compassion is stronger than fear in times of crisis. And finally, true leadership. She embodies leadership as serving others rather than seeking recognition. Mhm. So there we are. The story aligns closely with the heroine's journey. The ultimate goal is not conquering an external enemy, but integrating intellect with empathy and guiding a community through grief toward hope. And that's the end. Ah, well, all right. How was it? Interesting. We have to, yeah, to read much more about it. I know. But it's very good to practice this. It's very good to deal with this topic. Okay? So I'm glad you have time to read this, to talk about it, to make comments. We are all the time learning. Yes, and applying different techniques and themes that we've seen before. So these are different ways to analyze stories. And well, I'm so grateful that you like this one. You know that every month we come with one or two books. There's lots of reading, lots, yes. And so here we are. We love it, okay? So kisses and keep on rocking it, okay? Stay hungry, stay curious, stay tuned, and see you there. Bye bye. Thanks for being there, yeah? You can write a comment, and if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. Let me know if you have a group of friends and they want to read this one again, or maybe new people coming, okay? See ya. Bye bye.